The national dropout rate is at a climbing 28%. In Philadelphia alone, it is an astounding 40%, which leads to unemployment and incarceration. The nationwide question is, what makes a student leave?
I could do my work, but I would sit there and still mess around in the classrooms, and it was just boring to me, so I just decided to leave school on my own.
I never took it serious. Like, I always just went there, fooled around, never went to class, cut class on time.
I felt like I wasn't getting the education I needed.
If the dropout rate is so high, then does that reflect what the school systems are doing in school?
I wanted like a really rigorous education. I wanted something that was going to be challenging, and I wasn't getting there at my old high school. It's like when you came into a classroom, it was basically just writing a whole bunch of stuff down. It wasn't teaching.
Teachers just stand in front of class, they will ask you a question, but then you don't even know the answer, and then you'll try to answer and you'll still move on without even answering the real question that you asked.
I think right now the public schools are not preparing students as they need to be to enter college.
So who is responsible for this, and why is it happening?
I don't think you can point to any one source or any one reason. But I hope that if schools become places that kids want to be, then there may be fewer kids dropping out.
Most kids drop out because they have no stable family at home. Most kids drop out because it's hard to get food on the table, so they gotta go out in these streets to make money. Most kids drop out because they get teased every day. I know someone that dropped out just because he got teased so much, it made him cry just to come into school, and that's a shame for somebody to feel like that.
I think it's government officials. I think it's, school board officials. It's teachers. It's everybody. It's a societal issue. One of the things I think we can clearly do is point individuals in the right direction.
With so many people involved in a student's life, how can the problem be solved by schools and homes collaboratively?
We have a lot of freedom in what we want to teach. So I teach English, so I can pick a book that my students are actually going to be interested in, as opposed to, say, maybe the Odyssey, where students are like, what is going on here? I have no interest in this. And I think that's part of the reason why they drop out in the first place, is that there's nothing that's engaging them at school.
Students need early exposure so that in their 10th grade year, in their 11th grade year, oftentimes in their 7th grade year, they can begin to process these things and say, by the time I complete high school, this is what I want to do. This is where I want to be.
I think school should be a place where people like to go, where people feel safe going, where people know there are adults who can be advisors and mentors and teachers who really have their self-interest at heart. Some schools are like that. A lot of schools aren't.
One program that provides built-in support for their students is Youth Build, an alternative high school for students who dropped out of school.
So we offer case management, and although there are guidance counselors at mainstream schools, we have case managers that work directly with students. They do home visits. We provide trans passes. A student struggling with money for a month, maybe in the winter their child needs a coat, we can help them do that so that they don't have to say, okay, hold on a second, school, I need to leave, make some money so that I can get my child a coat. Youth Build is there to sort of provide those services that they couldn't ordinarily do if they were on their own. So that's one way that we keep our students from dropping out or from thinking that they're not ready to complete their high school diploma.
Just because you drop out doesn't mean you can't go back. There are many places and programs designed specifically to get people back into school.
Support them the best we can, expose them to the wonderful resources and programs out there. A lot of times the messages they're getting is that there's no place for me. If their high school didn't work out for them, they might feel like there's no place for me to go, but that's so not true. There are many wonderful programs in this city, and once they can get here, we have just a myriad of wide resources to help them succeed.
I dropped out of Washington And then for me to get back into school, I applied for Youth Build Charter School. We had the things that we had to do to get into the school was do an orientation. Then we had a 9-day interview that's called mental toughness to see if we was actually ready to get back into school.
During the youth build experience, it actually showed me that all school's not bad. Like, I can actually take school serious. And now that I'm here at CCP, where I'm attending the spring, I'm actually proud of myself that I actually got back in school, about to get my diploma, and soon to be a college student.
Some benefits of an education are better jobs, opportunities, and self-assurance.
Getting a high school degree and then following that up with at least a 2-year associate's degree is going to pay off big in the long run in terms of having a successful career, not just a job, but a career that can give you a stable income and also bring you some job satisfaction.
Knowing that I have an education, it just makes you feel happy in the inside, knowing that you're doing the right thing, knowing that your son gonna be able to look up to you to know that you got your diploma or you got your certification in what you're doing out here. It just make you happy.
You can always go back to school and be successful with programs support teachers, family, and friends.
I wake up every morning motivated to come, like, oh, I can't wait for my class tomorrow. Now next semester, I'm starting CCP. That's where I'm at now.
Dropout ain't the way to go, man. Just stay in school, you know, even if you don't like your school, try to convince your parents to put you somewhere you'll like somewhere that'll fit you. Like, you gotta come to understand it, because dropping out, there's nothing good about it.
Think twice. No, think 3 times before dropping out. And if you do, know that there are ways to drop back in.